Hey there, Galentine. So, to be honest, I was having a hard time thinking about what to get you. So I decided to recruit some of our friends and see what they thought of you. I'm sorry that it's not something that you can unwrap, but I hope that you'll enjoy it anyways. So without further ado, happy Galentine's Day, Julie.
Hi, Julie! My first memory with you was when we were in the Chick-fil-A in Atlanta at training camp, and you were telling us how you held 8,000 pounds of cocaine, and I was like, wow, this chick's interesting.
Julie, my first impression of you was obviously at training camp, and I realized that while I was struggling to pack up my million things in my giant pack that was taller than my head, that there was someone else that was slower than me, and it was you. And then that's how our friendship was born, because we were both quiet and we were both slow at packing things.
Julie, my first impression of you was that I couldn't tell the difference between you and Rachel Morris. I still can't.
My first impression of you was at training camp, and it was during the fitness hike, that dreaded fitness hike that I did not once but twice. And the first time was really, really hard for me. But you came alongside of me and you encouraged me and loved me and just pushed me, and you didn't know me from Adam. And that meant the world to me, and it will be something I'll never forget. So yeah, thank you for your amazing heart. Thank you for your gentleness.
Julie, you're so unexpected in the best way. When you first meet you, you see this super sweet and wise and just knowledgeable woman who just teaches people so much and just has this desire to learn so much more all the time. But then you also have this super silly, unexpected side that is just a goofball, that you love people so well by making them laugh and saying the weirdest things, and I just love laughing with you.
Hey Julie! So first of all, I just think that you are a hilarious person overall, but one thing that I think is super funny about you that I love is when you burp. So it's funny, I'll just be like randomly in the bathroom minding my own business, and all of a sudden like I hear a burp. It's like, oh hey Julie, I didn't know you were in here. Or when we're just like walking down the street and then randomly I hear you burp. And then it's like, wait, where's Julie? Oh, hey, I didn't know you were behind me. So it's just something that I love about you that I think is super hilarious.
What I've learned from you is how to do this face.
Or my favorite thing about you is how you like ask thought-provoking questions, or you say thought-provoking things. So like one of my favorite memories of that is when I don't know if it was training camp or launch or when it was, but I never forget when you said that like our society teaches children that it's okay to sit on a stranger's lap and it's okay to sell our body parts, referring to Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. And it like killed me, it cracked me up so much.
Okay, so Julie, one of my favorite memories with you was back in Panama when you, me, and Rachel just needed to get out of the house at some point. And so the three of us, without even changing into our swimsuits, ran down to the ocean, and we ended up pushing each other into the ocean and pulling each other and just having like this big water fight while we're still in our clothes. And then the sunset was happening in the background, and it was just a lot of fun, but we ended up having like a really good conversation, and it was one of the first moments where I feel like the three of us really got to like bond with each other and have fun with each other. And it was just so much fun. I love thinking of that memory, and I think that it just so encapsulates what our friendship looks like. And so I love that memory.
One of my favorite memories is when we were at Costa Debrief and we went on a walk, or maybe it was just like going to a grocery store or something, I don't remember, but we all came back and you gave me little red flowers. And you said, Tessie, I don't know if it was Holy Spirit telling me to do it, or if it was just me telling me to do it. And it might have been illegal to pick these, but I felt like I just really needed to give you these flowers because you love flowers, so here you go. And one, it just made me feel so like cared for. It was a really sweet and special moment. But the reason that it goes with like a way that I admire you is because you remember these tiny things about people and you're really intentional about keeping note of them and loving people in ways that you know they receive love.
So I know that we aren't super close just because we haven't had a one-on-one or we haven't been on the same team together, but I just wanted to let you know that I admire you from afar, so don't take that as a creepy way. But I just see you full of so much wisdom. You are such a great leader. I love how you aren't afraid to be yourself. And you're such a great friend to everyone on our squad, and you always offer a listening ear, and you just share so much wisdom. And that's just something that I admire you about.
What I admire about you is that you are not afraid to just be yourself, and you always have really great conversations with the people around you, and are not afraid to put your heart and your feelings out there in a very genuine way. So I really admire and appreciate that.
Something that I have learned from you is how to be a really great sister, and I love the connection we have of having both been sorority women, and I just love having that connection from you, and I've learned so much about what it looks like to minister to my sisters from afar from you.
Okay, one of my favorite things about you, Julie, is that you make me feel at home. You make me feel comfortable, and you make me feel loved, and you just remind me of all the good things about home.
Julie, one thing I admire about you is your willingness to dive in, to ask the hard questions, without being afraid what other people think about you.
One thing that I really admire about you is the way that you fight for emotional purity. All the time, whether it's like in conversations that some of us are having, and you just kind of like remind us of like, keep your mind set on having emotional purity. It's really easy to get caught up in that, and like that's something I never even thought about before hearing it from you, but I think that's amazing that you fight and you stand for that.
Julie, one thing I really admire and love about you is that you're not afraid to say what you think and what you really believe about something, and you do it in a way that it's not offensive or hurtful to people, but you do it in a way that's very loving and gentle, but also gets the point across of what you were trying to say without sugarcoating it.
Something I really admire about you is your ability to talk to anybody and have a conversation with them. I am just so comfortable talking to you, and I think that's something really special to have just in life, in ministry here on the race. I have learned from you, and I've become more confident in just striking up conversations with people that I don't know and just meeting where they're at. So that is one thing I have learned from you.
Okay, Julie, one thing that I admire a lot about you is just how freely you encourage people, and you really bring your whole heart into it. It's not some sort of like a fake, made up like compliment, but I really feel like you mean everything that you're saying, and that sticks with people.
One thing I admire about you, Julie, is something that I've seen while we were doing ministry together this month, is the fact that sometimes when you're doing children's ministry, you kind of tune out when there's children crying or whenever there's a kid by themselves. Sometimes it's hard to discern whether to go or not, but you are always the first person to go find the child that's by themselves. Or you're the first one to go and pick up a crying baby and rock them to sleep. And you know what a child needs, even if they don't know it themselves. And even like whenever you were sitting inside of the preschool the one day and you were just holding Pootie while she was sleeping, and Bongiwe came in and asked if you wanted to put her down somewhere else, and you said, no, I just really enjoy holding her. And I think that you knew that she needed that too. Even if she was sleeping, just having that touch by you, I think is something that you knew she needed, even if she couldn't vocalize it to you. So I think that that's really cool.
Something that you do really well is encourage people and celebrate people really well. You like see their gifting and you speak it out and you encourage them in that, and like sometimes it could be like challenging, like them to get outside of their comfort zone and like use their giftings in that way, but you kind of like paint this picture for them and show them like, if you use your gift, like I see all of this good happening, and it's super encouraging. So thanks for doing that, and thanks for like having the courage to do that.
One way that I see Jesus in you, again, that's super hard because I see so many qualities of Jesus in you, is just that you are always looking for the marginalized and like the ones that are overlooked in any situation. You're so caring for anyone, and you always see someone in a crowd and are really intentional about making sure that they know that they're loved and telling them just things that you notice in them. And I've just noticed you do that with our squad, and then also in ministry, and even with a lot of dogs.
Julie, the one way I see Jesus in you is how you don't give up on people, and you continuously love them no matter what, and that you really just try to continue to seek after them and intentionally love them constantly, and that the Lord doesn't give up on his children and you don't give up on others.
Julie, you are full of so much wisdom, kindness, humor, and love. And I really admire your integrity and the ways that you push people to be their best selves while also sitting with them and recognizing their struggle. It's really a joy to have you on this weird family that is K-Squad. You're an essential part of it. So I hope that you know just how loved you are, because you're so loved.
Julie?
Julie.
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 Julie, you are so loved.
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 Julie, eres muy amada.
And you are so, so, so loved.
You're just so loved.
You are so loved.
Julie, you're so loved.
Julie, you are so loved.